Right then, listen up. Forget everything you thought you knew about a takeaway. We're not talking about some soggy, greasy mess you regret an hour later. No, today, we're diving headfirst into the heart of one of the world's most ancient, complex, and bloody brilliant culinary traditions, China. This isn't just about food, it's a journey, a taste and learn adventure that will blow your mind and your palate. We're going to explore the stories, the techniques, and the sheer passion that goes into creating these masterpieces. So, buckle up you donkeys, this is going to be one hell of a ride. We're on a mission to uncover the absolute best of the best, the top 5 must-try Chinese dishes that have conquered the world. These aren't just recipes, they are legends served on a plate. Each one is a titan of flavor, a symphony of textures, and a cornerstone of Chinese culture. From the imperial courts of ancient dynasties to the bustling street markets of modern cities, these dishes tell the story of a nation. We're going to break them down and understand what makes them tick. First up, a dish so majestic, so regal, born in the palaces of emperors. We're talking about the one, the only Peking duck. Look at it, a masterpiece of culinary engineering. This isn't just a roasted bird, a symbol of Beijing, a national treasure, an experience that will stay with you for life. The story begins centuries ago, in the Ming dynasty. It was exclusive to the imperial court. You couldn't order it at your local. You had to be royalty. Imagine the pressure on those imperial chefs. One mistake, one imperfect piece of skin, and it could be your head on a platter. They perfected the method over generations. The goal, skin so thin and crispy it shatters like glass. Meat so tender and juicy it melts. The ducks were special, bred outside Beijing, force-fed a specific diet. The fat layer under the skin is the secret. Chefs knew the bird like surgeons. For centuries it was a guarded imperial secret. Then the secret spread as chefs opened restaurants. The process is multi-day, a ritual. The first step is to separate the skin from the meat and pump air to create a pocket. Next, douse the duck in boiling water to tighten the skin. Then glaze the duck with maltose syrup. After that, glaze the duck with soy sauce. Finally, glaze the duck with other secret spices. The last step is to hang the duck to dry for over 24 hours. The next step is to roast the duck in an open front oven. Traditional roast uses fruit wood, pear, or jujube wood. Duck hangs, rotates, cooks slowly. Right, from the imperial grandeur of Beijing we travel south to the bustling, cosmopolitan metropolis of Shanghai. Our next dish is a small but mighty marvel of culinary ingenuity, the xiaolongbao, or soup dumpling. Don't let its delicate appearance fool you. This is one of the most technically challenging, mind-blowingly delicious things you will ever put in your mouth. Xiaolongbao literally translates to small basket bun, named after the bamboo baskets they are steamed in. But the real name of the game here is the soup, a dumpling, filled with hot, savory, delicious soup. How the hell do they do that? The story goes, Nangxiang, late 19th century. A clever restaurateur named Huang Mingxian experimented with adding aspic, jellied meat broth, to minced pork. When cold, aspic is solid so it can be wrapped into the filling. When steamed, the aspic melts back into rich, flavorful broth. The result, a delicate dumpling skin holding a pork meatball floating in its own sea of hot, delicious soup. When Huang Mingxian first served these, customers were baffled. They'd bite in and get a surprising, sometimes messy explosion of hot soup. It became a sensation, a local obsession, and then spread beyond Shanghai. Xiaolongbao became a symbol of Shanghainese elegance and clever design. Making them properly is an art form, a skill that takes years to master. Let's break it down. Creating the perfect xiaolongbao is a 3-part challenge: the wrapper, the filling, and the construction. First, the wrapper. It has to be incredibly thin, almost translucent, so you can just about see the soup and filling inside. But at the same time, it has to be strong enough to hold its precious liquid cargo without breaking. The dough is a simple mix of flour and water, but the technique is in the rolling. A master chef will roll the dough into a small circle thicker in the middle and paper thin around the edges. The thicker base provides strength, while the thin edges allow delicate pleats. Thousands upon thousands of wrappers by hand. No machine can replicate that touch. Now for the heart of the matter, the filling. First, seasoned minced pork, often with a hint of ginger scallion shaoxing wine. The second and most critical part is the soup, the aspic, made by simmering pork skin, chicken feet, and ham for hours until collagen renders into a gelatinous broth. Once chilled and set, the aspic is diced and folded into the cold pork mince. Right, let's get one thing straight. If you think tofu is bland, boring, something your vegan auntie serves that tastes like a wet sponge, then you've clearly never had this. This is mapo tofu, an absolute flavor bomb, a culinary grenade waiting to go off in your mouth. We're heading to Sichuan province, the heartland of spice, where they don't just cook with chilies, they weaponize them. This isn't a delicate starter. It's bold, in your face, unapologetic. Forget everything you thought you knew. We're diving headfirst into a volcano of flavor. The story of this dish is as fiery as its taste. 19th century Chengdu, near the Bridge of 10,000 Blessings. A small bustling restaurant run by a woman named Mrs. Chen. She had pockmarks from a childhood illness. Locals called her mapo, pockmarked old woman. Her cooking would make you forget all about it. One day tired, hungry oil porters came in. They gave her some tofu, a bit of ground beef, rations of chili, and Sichuan peppercorns. They challenged her. "Ma'am, make us something incredible." She saw opportunity, a canvas for culinary genius. She didn't just toss ingredients in a pan, she understood them. The tofu needed to be silky but firm. The beef browned to release its savory depth. She coaxed fire from dried chilies, and pulled numbness from Sichuan peppercorns. It was like conducting an orchestra of flavor. What she created was a revelation, a crimson stew of impossibly soft tofu and savory minced meat, fiery from chilies and electrifyingly numbing from peppercorns. The porters were stunned. Word spread and everyone flocked to her restaurant. The name stuck, mapo tofu. Right, listen up, we're not just talking about food here, we're talking about an entire bloody experience. Dim sum. It's not a dish, you donkeys, it's a culinary event. A symphony of small bites that tells a story, originating from the tea houses along the ancient Silk Road. A way for tired travelers to rest and have a little nibble. It wasn't about a massive, gut-busting meal. It was about delicacy, variety, touching the heart. That's literally dim sum. This is culinary theater. Show some respect. You walk into a proper dim sum parlor. Organized chaos. Loud, bustling, alive. Trolleys pushed by aunties navigating tables with steaming bamboo baskets. Each basket is a little treasure. No menu. You point and choose. Interactive and exciting. The thrill of what's under the next lid. Yum cha? To drink tea. The tea is the conductor. Jasmine pour for others before yourself. A sign of respect. A ritual passed down for centuries. Not just weekend brunch. Families, friends, business deals. It's social glue, sharing, community. A profound cultural institution served in bamboo steamers. Stars of the show. Classics first. Hargao, shrimp dumpling. Close-up, translucent casing, pleating, shrimp interior. Shumai, open-top pork. Shrimp dumpling, garnish, juicy texture. Char siu bao, fluffy white bun, bun smile. Sticky char siu filling. These three are the litmus test. Master the basics before getting creative. Right, you think it stops at dumplings? Wake up. Jiangfun, steamed rice noodle roll. Plain, drizzled with sweet soy. This one is filled with shrimp. This one is filled with beef. This one is filled with crispy fried dough. Lobak go is a turnip cake that is first steamed and then pan-fried until crispy. Wugok is a taro root dumpling with a lacy, crispy exterior. Alright, let's set the record straight on this next one. Kungpow chicken. You might think you know it from that sticky, gloopy, fluorescent red rubbish you get from a cheap takeaway. Forget that. Erase it from your memory. That's not kungpow chicken, that's an insult. The real deal, the authentic dish from Sichuan province, is a masterpiece of balance. It's a culinary tightrope walk between spicy, savory, sweet, and tangy. It's named after a real person, a late Qing dynasty official named Ding Baozhen. He was the governor of Sichuan and his title was Gongbao, or Palace Guardian. The story goes that Ding Baozhen loved this dish. Whether he discovered it, invented it, or had his personal chef create it is up for debate, but he loved it so much he served it to guests, and it became associated with him. Gongbao Jiding, Palace Guardian's diced chicken. So every time you eat a proper kungpow, you're eating a dish with a noble, gubernatorial history. It's not just some random stir-fry. It has a pedigree, it has a story. And you can taste that history in the complexity of the flavors. A dish fit for a governor, not for a plastic takeaway container. The essence of this dish is what we call in Sichuan cooking li ji wei, or lychee flavor profile. No, there are no bloody lychees in it, you numpties. It describes the perfect balance of sweet and sour, a flavor profile that is meant to be reminiscent of the fruit. It's achieved with a precise combination of Qingqiang vinegar sugar soy sauce and Shaoxing wine. It's a delicate dance. Too much sugar and it's cloying. Too much vinegar and it's just sour. It has to be perfect, a subtle sweet and tangy background that elevates everything else. This isn't just about chucking things in a wok and hoping for the best. It's about precision. It's about understanding flavor at a molecular level. The chicken is marinated to be tender, the sauce is balanced to be perfect, the heat is controlled to be fragrant. This is a dish that requires skill, it requires finesse. It's a dish that, when made correctly, showcases the true genius of Sichuan cuisine. The ability to layer multiple complex flavors into one harmonious, explosive, and utterly addictive experience. It's a classic for a reason, and it deserves your respect. Right, that's it, 5 dishes, 5 absolute titans of Chinese cuisine. From the imperial crispness of Peking duck, the delicate soup-filled wonder of xiaolongbao, the fiery, soul-awakening punch of mapo tofu, the beautiful chaotic symphony of dim sum, the perfectly balanced masterpiece that is a true kungpow chicken. We've only scratched the surface, of course. Chinese food isn't one thing, it's a continent of flavors, a library of techniques built over thousands of years. It's a culinary world of staggering depth and complexity, and it is absolutely stunning. So what are you waiting for? Don't just sit there watching me on a screen. Get out there, be adventurous, find a real, authentic restaurant. Thank you for watching, thank you for joining us at Worldwide Way. Now turn this off and go eat something delicious. You've earned it. Go on, get out of here, go.